Force Home, the game of the century. Not quite sure exactly what we're in for on this one, but we will find out, will we not? Yes, we will. Absolutely. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll join me on this spectacular yet brief journey through the world of 3 Force Home, we will have an adventure. A new record will be created. Well, sign me up, Jimmy, and don't hold back. Now I need to find... Okay, I'll be right back. Good time to use. There it is. Create new data. Absolutely. What else will I have you do? Oi, it's already beginning. Oi, get your hand on the controller, I want, mate. No. First. I've been out here for a while. Really hoping there'd be dialogue. Mom might be getting worried. Sounds like a storm's coming in. Reminds me of the cat lady. I should probably get going. Yeah, I mean, I would if there was a storm coming. What was wrong with that house? It's like a face that's floating in the air. Whew. Press something up. R1 or R2, I don't get it, whatever. Tape deck. Kelly NPC dialogue. More. Let's experience this game. I'm excited. I'm excited, you know. Haven't played a game like this in a while. Nice little indie game. Might as well get into it, right? Jump right in. I was waiting for some viewers, but seems none are coming. So, with that said, let us begin. Let me just press one more thing on here. There we go. What is this? Start from the top? Yup. Let's take it from the top, people! And the wind will lift away your rot. Okay? Better be dialogue. I don't want to read everything. Then I gotta do voices and stuff. She found a guitar. Pick on the side of the road. It's gonna be a weird game. Nebraska. Kelly, where are you? I'm driving. From where? Where did you go? Where were you, Kelly? I needed you. From where? Where did you go? I just took a drive. In this weather, why? I needed some time alone. Christ, Kelly, you could have told someone you were heading out. That would defeat the point of it, wouldn't it? What do you mean by that? Kelly, you worry me. Nothing. I know you're used to living on your own, but now that you're back home, you have to let us know if you're gonna be born. Jesus, man, I'm not a child. You may be 23, which is kind of young still, but house rules still apply. I just want you to be considerate. Fine. See, I knew you were sensible. So where are you? In the McCarthy Fields, I think. Way out by the power station. Yeah, I can see it from here. See it? You look at yeah, full tank. You must not have been driving this whole time then. I wasn't. Okay, mystery girl. Did your dad fill it up for you yesterday? Yeah. On the way to the liquor store, I suspect. Make sure you thank him. I did. What were you thinking driving in this weather anyhow? It seems time I left. Didn't know I kicked up like this. How long did you leave? How long ago? The clouds rolled in hours ago. A while ago. I mean, it's like pulling teeth to get a straight answer from you sometimes. I really don't know what time. It was still dark out. It must have been early. Your dad didn't even hear you leave. Oh my God, and he was upset. I'm so sure. Did you even sleep? No, not really. Again, the tea isn't helping. I guess not. You've got too much of your dad in you. He was always up late. Well, he somehow manages to get up every morning, even though he doesn't have anywhere to be. Routine is good for him, Mom. He just spends the whole day elbow deep in the dirt in that garden. But he can't grow a damn thing, bless his heart. I heard he had a few tomatoes. Oh, I bet he told you that. It's 2 tomatoes. He's out there right now trying to cover them up from the rain. Why? Hell if I know. I've never heard of protecting a plant from the rain. That's weird as shit. Is he drunk? He said his leg was hurting him earlier, so it's probably one of those days. It'll be a miracle if he doesn't fall flat on his back. Trying to walk out in the rain with those clutches. Just a second, I'll check the trash. Oh, I'm worried about it. If he's had more than a couple, the pain must be really bad. I don't understand it, really. How could someone's leg hurt? where there's no lane there. But I'm no Dawson. Oh, fantastic. I know what it's for. I've played Metal Gear Solid 5 games. I can do all of the equipment. This could be a bad one. 5 years in already. That man. Only on a really bad day. He's been doing better since you came home. I think he's just really happy to have you. Well, that's basically much better. Probably should have been hard. Maybe talk about it. There was drink. Go to for relief. The doctor gave him some painkillers, but your dad doesn't want to take them. Booze is cheaper, I guess. Makes some sort of sense. It's how he deals with it. There was a time to develop a drinking problem. Now it's the time to leave. I don't know. It's something he said once, and I have time to argue with it. I have a fun time arguing against it. So you just, you're okay with him being an alcoholic. Oh, he's not an alcoholic. Besides, at least they're not kids anymore. They don't deal with things good now. Never really want to be a fully functional adult, I know. I'm here for that. Your dad has never really been up to the task that then, after all. I'm loving his voice. Why not? It works for him. It works for us. Anyway, you never told me how that didn't do anything. So everything is good for him. Well, it went well. Excellent. Think you got the job then? They offered it to me on the spot. It's exactly. I'm not surprised to do it. Hank that interviewed you, he's known you since you were little. Yeah. I've always had a chance to see somebody get it. So what do you think? You're going to take the job, Sadie? What do you drive you to? Yeah. Wait, it'd be hard to find a place to sleep. I only get in a couple of days a week to school. Well, I need to start off to please to learn me to hit up for the door. The water for folks is better. They're not all the family that's here. I don't know where they live, right? It sure is, but it's temporary. All of this is only temporary, okay? As much as I can, of course, I'm not going to let you go out in this time. I'm joking. What, you leave your dad and your brother, please? As bizarre as they may be, I love them to death. Couldn't stand to be away from them. Is that really what you're suggesting? No, I don't know you. You tried to leave your dad. Let me watch. What you doing now? I don't know. I thought I heard him come in a minute ago. Lord, where did he get out of here? David! Hello, David! David! David, I will come up there, David! David, don't make me come up back there. Mom, where are you? I'm looking for your father. Have you seen him, Ben? He's upstairs. He was covered in mud. Are you mad at him? No, honey, I'm not mad at him. What's he doing up there? Are you mad because he's got mud on the carpet? He what? Oh, Lord, have mercy on my soul. What was that I am thinking? You can only say that when you're mad. He's taking a shower. Shut up, Ben. Okay, you're right, sweetie. I'm mad now, but not at you. Good. I didn't get mud on the floor. If I got mud on the floor, you should be mad at me. I hate you, Ben. That depends, sweetie. Okay? Don't do it, and we won't ever have to find out, okay? I wasn't going to. Who are you talking to? Your sister. Do you want to talk to her? No. There's a tornado watch. I'm going to watch the news. Stay informed, then. Are you sure you don't want to talk to her? Yeah, someone needs to watch the news. Just in case. Where's Kelly? She should be somewhere with the basement. What? Is she somewhere with the basement? She's on her way home, sweetie. Tell her she should drive fast, but like not too fast. Okay? Because getting in a car wreck would totally suck. Like not as bad as getting in a tornado, but still pretty bad. You know, so you gotta really, tell her to find the balance. Why don't you tell us? I'm watching the news, okay? Someone needs to watch the news. If you say so, Ben, you keep me updated. Did you catch all of that, sweetie? Yeah, I got it. Ben's still telling me to yell at you to drive faster. But not too fast, right? Your dad dragged mud all the way up the stairs. Christ almighty, I'm not claiming this stuff. He can do it himself. Is that me? Good. Uh-huh. So, how is Ben doing? Oh, you know when he gets when it storms. Been talking about how it is on the forecast. When you have to walk the door. See, that's a good thing. I would have known about the weather if you hadn't told me. In fact, I'm driving through it. You could have come home a bit earlier. What's Ben doing all day? Writing, I guess. All he seems to do is want to write lately. You sure he wasn't just jerking off? You sure that's all he was doing? What was he writing about? Oh, I don't know this and that. He never lets me read any of it. But it's been good for me. Usually he'll focus on something really intensely for a small while. Not like when he was autistic, but he gets frustrated easily. So easily, and gets so aimless. Like with the guitar. Remember? You were so into that when you lived here. But once you were gone, he just stopped caring pretty much about everything. He's not playing the guitar anymore. No, he stopped after a year. He didn't really have anything to focus on after that. It was even worse after we pulled him out of school. So he picked up one and went to his band lesson. He thought maybe a month after you left us. He didn't really have what said that bitch. Guess you didn't ask. Or really haven't paid much attention. That was the time. Yeah. I've seen lots of shows. I don't mean anything special. I'm still getting to it. I don't like it. I mean, yeah. You can do that. You Not tons of them, but sure. Maybe anyone come up with something like just do it. It's not really good. Well, I mean, even if he was, it's still not a very good fit. You know, you were really out of touch there for a while, Kelly. What's without calling will do that. I didn't realize. Damn. Wait, here's your father. David, what the hell are you doing now? What the hell are you doing out there, David? What the hell? I told you I was covering my tomatoes. One's a bad one. I didn't want them to get through in. I've never heard of anyone doing that, David. In my whole life. No one I've ever met does that. David. Well, Nora, just because you have a hair, it doesn't mean that it's not a smart thing to do, okay? You tracked mud all over my carpet, too. Look at that mud. God damn it, I'll clean it up. I'm sorry. Dan, you said a bad word, Mom. He's not allowed to say that. If I'm not allowed to say that, he's not allowed to say it. So sorry, bud, you're right. I'll do $1 in a jar, okay? $1 in a jar. That's $27. I gotta buy a game and it's $50. That's what you said. That's the deal, yeah, buddy. Sometimes I wonder if you do that on purpose. That's the funniest thing ever. I'll never tell who's on the phone. My daughter. That's so. Where is that girl? You talk to her. I'm done playing Go Between. Would you want me to clean this up? Just take the phone. Yes, phone. Oh, shut up. Jeez, this is a lovely thing. Well, little Miss Kelly. Dad. Where the hell are you? Out by the Woody Farms. On my way home. Shit, that's a good 15 miles out in the middle of nowhere. What are you doing out there? That one wasn't on purpose. God almighty, you sound like you know. Don't act like it's such a bad thing. She might be or something. Let's stop on this thing. Oh, we do that. Go look for that now, are you? My car is cold. Look, I have been out there since the exit. Check, won't be surprised if the storm like it. Like was leaving half over last time. I don't want to see it. Oh hell, this plane. Maybe that time. No man, I better watch it up. You can want to make it move. What's been going on? You know how irritable he gets when he's wound up. You should probably tread lightly. I don't know, there was a according to Ben Dr. Patterson talking to him like he was crazy and dumb, so Ben lashed out. What did he do to him? No, all he did was send a letter. Yeah, to the Department of Health and Human Services. Yep, well, the Dr. Patterson was unfit for his career and should have his physician's license revoked. Oh my God. Needless to say, we decided to find a better new specialist. Jones all the way in Omaha. 4 hours there and back, and Mom hasn't had time. I get you to the... Else my driving day. Don't you remember? Oh, shit. Oh, this damn wagon. We're just talking about it. It's even more pissed off. Are you taking anything for it? No pain medication. Breakdown will help. Maybe a little more often than that. I'm not judging you. Good, because I'm not listening if you are. You can't afford the prescriptions and nothing else helps. I love the hooch. Sorry, see anyone touched. What, like a shrink? Shit, no. Even if I wanted to, we couldn't afford it. So we probably couldn't afford to take things when we said it because it's too slow. I've got my own things. I have to work. I don't really. Yeah. Storm just has no shit. Just in the same time. Not all around. We keep focused on the road and talk about those. I'll probably say. Really up to my business. You're the person who I ever know. Not no more now. I might try to get him back into it though. The slap thing probably won't keep him off the top forever. I tried to get him to garden with me. It didn't go so well. What was it he said? Probably 6 months if I wanted to know it. Sure, but he's also missing the point of gardening. Still in good hands, but wants to put the rain in and say he's good at gardening. It's fine. But I'm joking. You're not so off the mark. I used to try it. Sit down. I was still here at the snake. Press the test thing for the phone. Sure it does. Something like this, we get some nasty with it. Hell, Smithers. Take Smithers off the mound, do it, what happens? Next thing you know, they rot right on the fire. He's always out the old man. Maybe a big pocket to that. So, you know, all the food. Oh, hey. Why don't you ask her? I need to keep watching about it. How is she so good? Yeah, you got it, buddy. Ain't getting worried. You making good time or not? You still got a ways to go there. Don't be reckless. You ought to be shit. Don't be good, man. As long as you're being safe. What about it? couple years back, I suppose. Oh, I reckon not, but they had the money to do it. It is around here, but they got some kind of grant from the government. It's a waste of money. That's leaving that the future of this place. Most of them like you when I see to graduate. Last I heard, you weren't looking to stick around any longer than you have to. That reminds me, did you ever get back with the tail from the high school? Eric or something like that? Why not? You two were doing it to get back there. Can't be all that complicated. He was saying you could give him a ring. Oh my God, what is happening now? What does he have to do with any of this? Alzheimer's is starting to take effect. Why are you fighting again? We're not, sweetie. Just because we're talking doesn't mean that we're fighting, okay? Now, then you have to take some pencils. Then you won't get any Christmas presents because all of our money will be in the dental fees. So go back and watch TV now. Pardon me. Come on, sweetie, let's go all of us and watch the news together. It'll be lovely. Okay, we're showing funnel clouds. You know, like Blair should do it. You do it too, you know. I know it. See, I'm not crazy. I hope we're talking about Here we go. What's the name of the song? That literally is a sign that there are tornadoes coming. They are angry tornadoes. Tornadoes. A tornado! They're showing on the news of a tornado! It's touching the ground! Benjamin, get downstairs! Those tornadoes lay on the ground for 3 minutes and travel less than a mile. That's what 12 miles away. Ben, now! Hey, I gotta let you go, Kelly. You be safe out there. Is it near me? No, it's east of there. You should be fine. Okay, you guys be safe. You win. Don't you dare let her off that phone, David. She needs to pay attention to the road, Laura. I'm hanging up. Like hell you are. You keep her on that goddamn phone or listen to her getting sucked up into a tornado before I have to sit around and just worry about it. There would be so much
much debris that her phone would be destroyed before you could even hear her getting sucked into the tornado. So like, also you have to put $2 in the jar because you swear twice.
She could get in a wreck, especially with this wind.
You would probably be able to hear her get in a wreck unless the phone got thrown from the car or it was crushed.
Okay, buddy, enough of that, okay? You're just gonna have to give your mother a heart attack. Ask her if she can see anything, David. Oh, God. Come on, Nora. Here, you ask her. Talk to your mother, Kelly. Okay. Kelly, can you hear any or see anything out there? You mean, can I see a tornado? No, Kelly. I'm wondering if you see anything. Plenty of time. Now's the time, Kelly. Sorry?
Tornado was east of here. Kelly went to Grandpa's house. She's northwest of here. She wouldn't see a tornado unless there was like 2 of them, which is extremely possible.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure, Ben. Kelly gets sucked into a tornado or gets in a car wreck. Wrong one. Benjamin.
She wouldn't need it. Kelly's have a computer. She's not using it. She'll be gone. You know, if a tornado gets there, it wouldn't be fair if I couldn't have it.
Okay, but I think that's fair. If Kelly gets sucked into a tornado, I'm sure she'd be fine with letting you have her computer.
What about a room?
Please, Ben, that's enough. I'll tell you what, we'll leave a room on the table, you know? Because, you know, we could get some damage here, and her room might have a giant hole in it. If I were you, I'd wait and see on that. Yes.
Alright, that's a fair point.
Your brother sometimes, God bless him though. You sure about that? Yes, I'm sure. Okay, you asked for it. This game's a lot of fun. After this short intermission, we will continue. But first, I must take a bite of this burrito. Wanna show the nation my appreciation. Ben, here, talk to your sister.
I don't want to talk to that bitch.
Whoa, man. Shouldn't say that shit about your sister. She your flesh and blood, dog. I'll break your neck.
top speed before damage and line up in storm parking lot.
That's smart of you.
I'm not done. So you shouldn't be surprised. Are you surprised?
Wait.
You shouldn't be surprised. I'm not done. Mom and Dad are arguing in the corner. They don't think I can hear them.
What are they arguing about?
Mom thinks we should be in the storage room on the east side of the house because he said it's further underground.
Is it?
No. One of the walls is only halfway covered. She's also afraid that the water meter may explode. If that happens, we'd be killed even if we were in the other room. We don't plan to do.
Jesus Christ. So which room are you guys in? Is the safest?
We are least likely to be killed by a tornado if we are in this room. But there's no guarantee in either room. Tornadoes and debris are unpredictable.
Sounds like you got this thing.
Just common sense for me.
I'm scared.
Yes. How? Not what?
Writing about things we didn't watch.
Yes, I have.
You want to read me one of your stories?
Oh, my story about stories. It'd be dangerous to go story telling tomorrow. I don't want to bring that to tell to you. Yes, I have an excellent memory.
Jazz.
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm counting. Are you ready now? A village set in a wide valley.
Cut high in the mountains. It was a place of plenty. A gash of green in the otherwise cold slate, rising above on all sides. Those living in the village called the place View. To those who lived higher in the mountains, mining for precious glints of yellow and blue, called it the Trough. Those in the valley treated this name as an insult, for they thought it was a name unfit for their fair village. The people of View, or the Trough, lived there for centuries. They were mostly farmers, though a fair number of merchants made a home in the valley for most of the year, save for the month when they would venture up toward the mining towns to sell the harvest bounty at a premium. They would return home with bags filled with chips of yellow and blue, tied to their fine leather belts, clinking brightly with the wealth. The next year they would trade half of their shining flints to the farmers for a share of what the harvest that they would, in turn, cart up to the mining villages yet again. Food flowed up and outward from the valley, and the yellow and blue would trickle down, gathering in the valley like a collection basin. This continued for hundreds, perhaps thousands of years. Dozens of generations of farmers, fathers and merchants, sons were born, grew wealthy, and were buried beneath the plush pasture of the valley, until the beast descended. The mining folk in the higher reaches of the mountains had passed tales of the beast around for as long as their history stretched. At the highest peak of the northwestmost mountain, they said, lived the beast. I've watched in all directions, through slit eyes, judging those below, biding its time until it would enact a righteous calamity. It was a nightmare of immense and terrible power, the miners would whisper. It was also a patient creature. It would wait until the world below felt it had become irredeemable before unleashing such destruction that its judgment would be fulfilled. It was simply biding its time until an age of selfish sin, before cascading down an era of sickness and madness, of fire, char, and blood. And one day, after hundreds of generations of farmers and traders had lived and died in the valley, it appeared in view. The beast had risen, in the trough. It appeared without warning, with neither sound nor fury. It was simply there, curled atop four legs, steaming breath rising from black maw, leathery wings folded in on its hulking shape. It towered over the center of the village, ominously silent. It did not move. It did not speak. It did not even seem to be living, save for the seeping steam billowing from its slime-slicked snout. The village warriors were called to arms, a ceremonial horn echoing off of the walls of the valley, aching toward a pregnant silence. After a moment stretched thin, they rushed towards the beast, their spears angled at its massive form. The rest of the village watched from the safety of embroidered drapery as the spears splintered against the beast's side, the honed blades shattering like glass. The warriors fell to the earth, crying out while their arms, as splintered as their spears, hung lifeless by their sides. The beast did not stir. The village's warriors were buried the next morning, having perished during the night. Those who tended to their wounds would later claim their eyes turned black, as if their light was leached from buried within their soul. The people of View, or the Trough, gathered to discuss what was to be done. The beast slumbered, but for how long? Why did it slumber at all? And perhaps most worryingly of all, how had it arrived in their valley? Not a soul had seen its arrival. It was almost as if the thing had simply materialized in the center of the village, or some proposed it had emerged from the earth itself. But what if that were the case? How had their soil, their valuable, rich, rare earth, the source of their plenty and their affluence, birthed such a terrible creature? Some were quick to suggest leaving the valley. "We could ascend into the alcoves of the mountains," the merchants said. "With no one to tend the fields, how would we eat?" the farmers countered. The villagers decided to stay in their valley. The creature slept, and the creature breathed. With each breath its skin rolled, animating the thorny black scales into a roiling obsidian riot. But it did not rouse. It did not move. It did not strain terror from the skies, nor did it consume children by the score. It slept. The farmers continued to tend their land. The merchants made their yearly trek up treacherous trails to collect what little chips of wealth the miners had collected in exchange for the farmers' yield. Year after year, however, there seemed to be a little less. A little less harvest, a little less yellow and blue. This continued for 20 years, until the day it began to rain. The people of View, or the Trough, watched laden with water from a faraway sea, but from the north, where there was but ice and stone and mountain. The rain draped the valley in a dampness that did not relent, but instead crept into every corner. The mountains themselves seemed to sweat and to pour into the valley. The water carried with it a quiet rot. First harvest after the rains began produced a meager crop. What little could be gathered was black with mold before the merchants had a chance to trade for the yellow and blue. Their livestock fared no better. The animals began developing weeping scores that became infected and killed with quick fever. That winter, the people of the Trough, or the View, watched one another waste away as they began to starve. The next harvest was even worse. Every last crop had turned mealy and infested with warm midsummer. At the end of the season, the last of their livestock were dead. The people of the Trough watched one another descend into a state of hungry madness, devouring the rotting wood, sloughing from their homes in slimy heaps, and their fine leather belts that once held yellow and blue now sprouting spores of black mold. The village and its residents were rotting away. A group of villagers approached the beast after the last of their livelihood had perished, slogging through the swamps of waist-high mud to make a plea to the monster. We are sorry if we have offended you, mighty creature. We offer ourselves to you in hopes that you sacrifice us, and it will satisfy your hunger for our people. In unison, the villagers submerged themselves into the tarry mud, suffocating in the muck. The beast slept. As the rains from the north continued into their third year, the few remaining people in the trough began to prophesy about the beast. It had come and brought with it great devastation, they could all agree. It had brought the rains from the north, and it had brought a rot to the village that would not relent. Squatting in what little remained of their crumbling homes, they dreamt of the day that the beast would be satisfied with their penance, and it would wake and leave their valley and allow them to rebuild themselves from the rubble. The time will come, they said, when the beast will wake from its slumber and spread its wings, reaching from one end of the valley to the other, and with the beat of those mighty wings it will ascend aloft to squall, and the wind will lift away our rot. The villagers waited and waited for this day to come. A generation came and then went, born to the rain and long rotten in the moldy dirt. The few survivors had long abandoned hope that the beast would return to its mountain perch. It was perpetual, a manifestation of their sin. The beast slept until it did not. The day the beast awoke, the villagers celebrated. They watched it stretch its long, horrible form into shape, hide shuddering as it shook the decades of rain from the thorny scales. They sang to the beast as it stood uncertainly and reared on its haunches, unfolding the scarred leather rings from one end of the valley to the other. The time of the beast's departure had come for the cleansing wind. The beast beat its wings, emitting a tired, ugly groan as it lifted from the sodden earth. With a final sigh, it shot high into the air, sending a massive gust of wind through the valley that toppled what dismal dwellings remained haphazardly standing. The valley was wiped clean. The villagers were knocked from their feet by the rush of wind. As they struggled upright, they felt the sun on their skin for the first time. They rejoiced, their pale forms dancing in a pitiful display of frailty. They could return to the ways of their ancestors. They could know plenty. They planted their first crop before the grass had even greened, with a newfound acuity for the hunger pains that plagued them constantly. But the grass did not wax green, and the crops did not grow. The decades of rains from the north had left the earth poisoned. There was no going back. They would not know plenty, nor would they silence the constant muttering of their stomachs. Their rot had been lifted. In its place, sterility. The sun shone, but was upon a new land, a land turned to jagged, unforgiving slate, where perhaps bits of yellow and blue could be scavenged if one dug deeply enough to find a petrified leather belt.
That's the end.
What the fuck? You remembered all that?
I don't have it with me to read. I obviously remembered it. Did you like it?